Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we count down the hours until WWE SUMMERSLAM 2018 coming right up around the corner. Tonight's going to be NXT. I'm heading to the gym right now to get some last-minute pumps in before I can sit down and watch the show. I'm going to be flipping back between NXT and the San Francisco 49ers preseason game against the Houston Texans. Honestly, it should be pretty fun. Besides it's pretty damn hot here in Sacramento, California. My dash here says it's 85 degrees, but there's no way that it's not 100. My car was just probably sitting in the shade. But the big thing going down at SummerSlam, like I talked about in the warm-up video or in the full show preview, either way that you guys checked it out, I was pretty excited about SummerSlam when it was announced. I think maybe it was because I got a chance to watch SmackDown and Raw that week. As we counted down the days, you had the big, Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley match to see who was going to go up against Brock Lesnar. Of course, there was that rumor that Brock wasn't even going to compete at SummerSlam, and that quickly went away. Lots to talk about when Brock is going to be leaving WWE and heading to UFC to set up that Daniel Cormier fight, as he is now doing testing with USADA. And it's going to be sooner than later that fight happens. The only question is Brock Lesnar going to be champion? And how is he going to lose the belt? Obviously, at SummerSlam, he has the match against Roman Reigns. We have Braun Strowman running around with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Honestly, Brock Lesnar had a lot of big matches last year in the WWE. He had a match against Braun Strowman. He had a match against AJ Styles. He had a match against Samoa Joe. All of those title matches were all honestly really good matches. And a lot of them were really short matches to sort of build up on, Brock being able to beat anyone, anytime, anywhere, just about any way possible. Brock's been able to defy the odds as being one of the best superstars in the WWE, keeping that Universal Championship. He's had that belt longer than CM Punk's run with the WWE Championship just a few years. So a lot of people say it's a different belt, but it's sort of like a title reign in the same era. So a lot of people sort of, compare the two runs against each other. Plus, both were Paul Heyman guys. So we'll have to see how this sets up. Basically, I think the best way to take the championship off of Brock Lesnar is have Roman Reigns beat him. This is something that they've been building up since, honestly, WrestleMania 30 to WrestleMania 31, but Roman's never been able to get the job done. Obviously, Roman's not going anywhere, and I don't think that they want Roman Reigns' legacy in WWE is to be the guy who did not get the chance to beat Brock Lesnar. I think that, honestly, that needs to be able to get done. But I think that, as he is basking in his glory, as he's able to say that I am the new Universal Champion, I am the big dog, you have that moment where basically, like when Sheamus jumped him at the Survivor Series. I can't remember who Roman beat for the championship, but, Sheamus cashed in after the handshake from Triple H, and that was just about all she wrote from there. Braun Strowman coming in, I know that he is a really over character. To me, honestly, he's a better heel than he is a babyface. I don't really see how you can get behind this guy, how he's supposed to be able to, get beaten up and sell for opponents. I think this guy's supposed to be like a made monster. We've seen guys like this all throughout my time as a wrestling fan. We've seen guys like this get fed to Hogan. Guys like this get fed to Cena. Guys like this should be being fed to Roman Reigns. And, being beat on. Give Braun a run with the belt as he cashes in that Money in the Bank. Then you can have, 3 straight months of Roman versus Braun. These have all been good matches. Yeah, I know that we've seen it before. We saw Braun, beat Roman at a pay-per-view. Then we saw him try to attack him again in the back, and Braun went flying through an ambulance door. As we count down to what's going to be, the fall months of WWE, you need to have hard-hitting action. because there's a lot of fans who sort of pack up their bags and leave and say, I'll see you when the Rumble comes rolling around. And probably the biggest, main event match that you could be having right now is Roman versus Braun, as Brock leaves to go fight for UFC. So I see the cash in coming. Hopefully it comes against Roman, not against Brock. I think that's just sort of like something they need to pad Roman Reigns' stats with, is being the guy who beat Brock Lesnar finally.